when I chose to leave physical therapy to embark on a career in stand-up comedy, I mean, you know, I had a doctorate degree. Like, it was a whole thing. My mother was like beside herself because, you know, even when I went in, I was a pediatric physical therapist. I was working with mostly mentally and physically handicapped kids. And I went in and I was at a school and I told the principal, you know, I'm going to leave this career to do comedy. She was like, that you're never going to make it. She was like, that is very, very stupid to do that. She was like, you have full health benefits here. You're making $47,000 a year. So by the time I got to in a place to quit, I had already done the David Letterman show. That had already happened. And you know, I had left physical therapy. I was leaving my job in the New York City Board of Ed. I would sometimes not show up and I would go on the radio or I would go do a comedy gig. And that for the New York City Board of Ed is called theft of service. They actually have retired NYPD detectives that if they find out that you're calling out sick and you're not actually sick, they can like prosecute you. So I get a knock. I had quit already, right? I had quit and I didn't realize I was getting investigated by the NYPD for theft of service. I had no idea this was happening. I had told my principal I quit. So then I'm just sitting there with no money in my bank account being like, did I mess up here? And then 3 days later, I get a knock at the apartment I was living in, and it's 2 detectives and like real detectives. And they're like, are you Chris Distefano? I said, well, you pronounced my last name right. And I said, thanks. and I said, and they said, we need to come in. And they said, where were you on these dates? And I just flat out told them, I said, listen, I've been on the radio. Okay. I'm doing comedy now. I said, I quit. I quit physical therapy last week. They said, you quit? They said, all right. So then if you quit, don't worry about it. Because you were going to get fired. You were going to get sued. But they said, if you quit, no harm, no foul. And then they had seen these postcards, the postcards from David Letterman that, you know, I still had. I haven't even framed them yet. And they were like, what's that? I said, oh, I just did the David Letterman show. They go, get the fuck out of here. I said, yeah. They go, let's watch it. So they sat down, these 2 detectives, and just watched me do this 5 minutes. And the detective's only comment was, he goes, you know, your suit was too big. You look like you're swimming in your fucking suit. Next time, get your suit tailored. And I was like, oh my God. Thanks.